What's going on, everybody? It's Dealer here, back again with what I want to call the All-Star Legends podcast. Look at all these names. Look at all these people. This is kind of insane. And, of course, we got great reason here. E3 2017 Microsoft press conference has happened. Xbox One X has been revealed. And we've got a big-ass list of topics and opinions to go around. So, really, guys, Xbox One S, let's bounce ideas. Let's kind of get our feelings out there, Dr. Phil style. What do you guys think about this?
I like the name. I called the name earlier, so I was happy that they actually named it that. It makes sense. You have the X, you have the S. It just spells out Xbox.
Yeah.
You don't have to go roll out. So
I liked rolling out.
Well, I mean, look, I liked it. It's smaller than the Xbox One S. I think it looks sleek. What color was it? It looked matte.
Like a matte finish black charcoal.
Yeah.
It is black, which is cool.
No, the name is fine. It's not like people didn't know it was coming out. It's fine, but I think they should have stuck with Scorpio personally. But it's irrelevant. It's really irrelevant. It's kind of like you meet your friends that had a kid and they named their kid Apple, and you're like, that's fucked up. 3 weeks later, you're like, what's up, Apple? Huh? What do you want to do when you grow up, Apple? It's just like it doesn't. After a while, who gives a shit what the name is? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like it is what it is.
Well, I mean, we all thought Xbox One, right? When I heard that name, I thought they were joking for literally like 30 seconds. I was like, oh shit, they're real, they're serious, and it grew on me, right? So Xbox One X is a much better name, less of a shocker. I don't mind it. SX, whatever the fuck else the next was going to be. I think it's cool. And, maybe they went into some of the specs a little too much in terms of the memory bus and all that stuff. Like 2% of the audience knew what that was, but it's still pretty interesting. They're not kidding around.
They had to say it.
Yeah.
I think they had to put that out. They spent 2 minutes explaining the specs and then kind of stop anybody who's going to say, oh, what can this thing really do?
Yeah. And it's clear. It's clear from watching the very first demo that this thing is the real deal. Let's start with the release date of the thing, November 7th, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Man, November 7th. So all the conspiracy theories about Shadow of War, not necessarily the case.
Yeah. It's still Scorpio as far as the astrological symbol. So
yeah, it is.
I don't think the game should have been on stage. We've seen too much of it already.
Of what? Yeah, they had been live streaming Shadow of War for like a month now. There's hours of footage, but I get it. 4K looked nice.
They had to show it running on Scorpio.
Yeah, they showed it in 4K as well.
I had a pretty good laugh when that bad guy did that thing with
the call outs.
Yeah. What about the developer that he called the Xbox One X We got thicker skin than that by now, so we don't really give a shit.
He had a fucking Sony windbreaker under that suit.
But that's going to change because people, they're going to take notice real quick. And speaking of take notice, some next level shit. Forza Motorsport 7 thoughts, mind blown. What's going on there?
Yeah, definitely mind blown.
That was amazing.
That was amazing entrance. That was amazing, bro. Period. Day one.
Yeah. You could tell they got the same skybox from the Scorpio demo that Digital Foundry debuted. Showstopper, man. What did you think, bro?
You talking about for the Xbox?
Yeah, the name and the release date and all that.
I would rather it have been Scorpio for me.
Oh, that's just because you freaky. That's all.
No, I'm used to that name. I'm used to that name. So why change it? I think they just try to do the same thing Sony did when they Neo, and then they
next gen had a good point. Maybe Xbox Scorpio would have been hard to get worldwide. Yeah, maybe they wouldn't have been able to market them worldwide.
That was something told to me a while ago. I just never really thought about it. Right. That those games, even though they use like Nintendo Project Cafe and all stuff, you have other companies all over the globe. You know what I mean? Whether they're selling matchsticks, lighters, or art spray, and you may have some, whatever named Scorpio, and it would be like the same thing with how they changed the name from Beam to Mixer. Because you have so many companies out there named, Beam this or whatever. It was hard for them to market that or get a patent to market it globally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but when has a code name ever been the final name? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, besides with Vega, like AMD Vega, it's a very rare exception that they're going to stick with that name. But, in terms of the visuals of Forza Motorsport 7, what do you guys think? That was crazy.
Yeah, the rain scene really stuck out to me. The rain.
I remember what. Sorry. I remember watching one part of it, like when they were going over the bumps inside the car, the dash. There was like some wires on the dash, and you could see those wires just moving. It just the interior looked real, just the texture and the lighting and the fill rate. It was impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was somebody online recently who just said a few minutes ago, he's like, I'm not sure if I was really sold on the Xbox One X. I said, listen, they showed 40-something games in 4K. If the 4K and everything D just said doesn't interest you, then it's very simple. I'm not going to sit here and sell it to you. I don't make 5%. Here's my point. Then there's a console for you, okay? It's called the $199 Xbox One S. If you don't care about Ultra HD and lighting and textures, and you saw what just happened in Anthem at the end there when he put that blitzkrieg of bombs out and there was just light particles galore, and you could see each fragment go through and pierce the other person's armor.
And that's all CPU stuff, by the way.
If that didn't impress him, just load up your 360.
Exactly. If that doesn't impress you, then I don't know what to say. Now, I mean, me and All Day had a really good conversation.
You played on PS4 Pro.
Yeah, exactly. Me and All Day had a good conversation before we went live here, and I mean, I do agree with some of the things that I'm not going to steal his thunder. I'm going to let him do his show. But I mean, like some of the things All Day will say are true, and he's actually gotten me to think a little bit back about it. And I think this has happened a lot on BGST when we do our post show after. There was just so much wow, look at this, wow, look at that moments that it does. There are certain things that Microsoft has left out necessarily out of this, but at the same time, the things that they left out are coming. What they wanted to do and make it very clear that from today moving forward, or pardon me, November 7th and moving forward, this will now be the place you play your third-party games. Yeah. And all first-party games are going to look amazing as well. So, certain people are going to say, well, this was missing and that was missing, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong, and I'm not going to defend Microsoft on that. Things that were missing are definitely missing pieces, but they had to combat Sony's this is the place to play third-party. And by my clock, Sony will not be able to use the words 4K tomorrow. Sony will not be able to show off a multi-plat and say the best place to play. They can't. And Microsoft took that away from them. And if you don't think that means something, then you're mistaken. And that's what Sony's going to be missing tomorrow is the ability to speak about 4K fluently. They can't do that in a 4K era.
I just think everybody ain't kind of fully looked at that conference all the way. To me, I mean, I'm going to look at it again later on tonight. I'm going to look at it for when it's like kind of everything kind of calms down because I'm hyped for so much. But with the Forza game, this will give you a prime example with the Forza game. Did y'all see the water, the how it spit up when you're driving from behind, and then you see the particles, different little things, even the background where you can see far, not just right in front of you. You saw things beyond that. You know what I'm saying? So I look at the power of that, and it was on some PC level type stuff. That's what PC gamers look at. They look at everything, the whole environment, and it gave you that. So I don't know, man. I just don't know what people was really expecting. But this conference was an A for me.
That's a great example, show, because that's exactly what you just got with Forza 7. I guarantee you, when you see the Digital Foundry comparisons, that's ultra settings on PC at 4K 60 lock with most likely more than 2XAA. So they're wasting GPU power here. I just tweeted out the live show. If everybody would go ahead and retweet that and hit the like button on that, you guys are fucking awesome. Thanks for almost 600 guys joining us live. Forza 7 looked phenomenal. Any other thoughts on that? The Porsche they brought out on stage, they did that again. It's a good-looking car.
Well, Porsche's
cool.
Porsche's been kind of low on Forza, hasn't it? They haven't had a whole bunch of Porsche cars in.
Well, EA's had the Porsche license for the last several years, so they've had to add it in via DLC. Now that's over. Forza has the license for Porsche now.
And then they brought a physical car on stage. So there you go.
That was their way of letting people know.
That was their Megaton. Nobody knew that game was coming, so now we know.
Oh my
God.
Speaking of coming, October 3rd release date.
Yeah.
It comes out before Xbox One X, so it's gonna be weird going to Xbox One X. Say
just release it with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I guess I don't get that.
I have a feeling we're going to be calling it the X, guys. That's probably what people are going to be calling this.
Or just call it the Xbox, man, or the One X. Yeah.
I call the X1 now the X1, and I'm going to call this X1X. I don't know.
Call it the Bone X, guys. Come on. You
Bone
want
X.
All right. Now, this is something that blew my face off, and it flew and slapped onto the wall. I'm going to have to peel it off later. Metro Exodus.
Oh my
How
god!
many? I mean, Jesus, that game
Hey,
looked so phenomenal.
K-Mega called it when we were watching. I was like, what
Yeah.
the hell game is this? So,
I thought it was Fallout, a new Fallout or something.
Metro, yeah, I called it about 10
Metro.
seconds in. All day was like, "What's this?"
And that
Yeah,
game
it's
looked
Metro. It
crazy.
looks phenomenal.
It looked crazy. And
Yeah.
you know what? Again, I just think that a lot of people are downplaying Scorpio. And like I said, it's crazy. I mean, they're not multi-class, don't matter. Did you see Metro? That was
Nuts, bro.
bananas.
Nuts.
No, listen,
That game
I'll
looks
say this
great.
again. For 3 years or 2.5 years, we've been talking about all Sony had was multiplex. Multiplat. You know what I mean? And now you're multiplex, because again, multiplex rule, I've always said this, are they gonna look, this wasn't no PC running, that was Scorpio. That shit, we never had anything like that on a console.
Never.
Like I don't see really what the backlash is about. Even if you don't like, you know what I mean, Microsoft's game, you may care for God of War better than Gears, fine. But one thing we all do share are multiplats. You know what I mean? So it's a win-win, man. You know.
That's the best looking game, and they did confirm all that stuff was running in Xbox One X. Best looking game to ever run on the console by far. Just that one multiplat. It's getting to the point now where the multiplats on this console are crushing any exclusive.
I really hope that a lot of developers, you know, take it upon themselves to try to push 60 if they can. And there will be some developers out there that will, you know, some that won't. So
Yeah,
that's
or
what I'm
give
really
us an
excited
option.
about.
You know, it can't possibly be
Right.
hard. But I was getting questions the whole time. They were like, "What exactly is the 12 gigs doing?" Right? what are the 12 gigs doing for something like Metro? And you guys saw it yourselves watching it 4K on Mixer. Those 4K assets, the way that fur looked, for instance, right? That's something all day was blown away by while we were watching it. Look at that thing's fur. 4K, those extra textures, right? The spider webs, the fog, all that stuff uses RAM. So, you know, it's important. It really is. Any other thoughts on Metro? Because it was a really good.
I haven't really played the franchise. I own them, the HD remakes on Xbox One, so I might have to jump into those.
They're good, man. They run at 60 on there too, and they look good. So, Assassin's Creed Origins.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Right.
Awesome.
Nice.
If you guys remember the last few podcasts, I'm like, I know I'm all sick of Assassin's Creed, but I was impressed the entire time. That game looks so cool, and it's like a callback to the original Assassin's Creed in a lot of ways, and it just it looked awesome.
When I seen him slide off that fucking pyramid and doing a fucking tuck and roll, I was like, oh yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, people are going to be salty. We've already got 6 salty dislikes for no reason. So this is what we're going to be getting from this point on. Really, is just people bitter and angry because everything they've thrown in our faces for years is coming right back at them, and they dug their own hole. I've got screenshots of people saying it's going to be just like the Pro. And I'm going to throw that up every time a Digital Foundry video comes out. It's going to be great. So for those watching, 700 plus, you guys are awesome. Hit that like button.
But,
you know, and give us your thoughts in the comments as well.
I want to make this point, Diller. You know, everything everybody complained about that Microsoft didn't have variety. Microsoft didn't have the shooter box, visuals. You know, no what's that, resolution, all this little stuff. They answered everything. Microsoft answered everything. So the games that they had gave in this E3 conference, it's a little bit for everybody. You know, it depends on what type of gamer you is. They gave us everything in one little setting. I think it was a little bit of the unnorm that to see that variety of games coming from Microsoft.
Yeah.
But this was a variety that they sat here and said Microsoft do not have, and they gave it to everybody.
40-something games on stage.
You know what would
right
have been cool? If it was me, I would have did like a Power Ranger, bro. I would have took all those indies and transformed it to a new IP. You know what I'm saying?
Voltron.
you gotta have variety though, you know. Because if we ain't had that, that'd have been the narrative.
Oh man.
Don't have variety.
Some of them looked good. Some of them they looked graphically good, like they weren't actually an indie. So
Did any of you guys in this room or even in the chat expect them to bring 22 exclusives to the conference?
No.
I didn't know they had. I was told for months they didn't have any, so I was. I didn't know.
Oh, those won't. Hey, don't you know only walking simulators on PS4 count as exclusives? Come on, we can't count. Yeah, we can't count those games.
I was really.
It is what it is. But in terms of Assassin's Creed, native 4K looked phenomenal. We told people
is that coming up this year?
Yeah. They gave the release date October. Wait, maybe I'm on the right. No, October 27th. So that's right.
Yeah.
So it'll come out before Xbox One X, which it's still really weird calling it X instead of Scorpio. But
Yeah,
it
One
looked
X.
great. It looked really good. I was kind of blown away by parts of it, and like I said, I think it's getting to the point where these multiplats are looking better than exclusives on any platform sometimes. So, in sections anyway. Anyone else got anything else to say about Assassin's Creed?
No, but Dealer, I want to ask you this though, Dealer. What were your thoughts on the existing Xbox One games getting a 4K patch on Xbox One X, such as your game Witcher?
That's a good question, and I was kind of let down there because there were less than I expected. Halo 5 for sure, but that wasn't the case. We know Halo 5 can run 4K because they're running it on 4K on PC with less powerful cards than what the Scorpio is. So I'm surprised they didn't do that. They only announced like 4 or 5 that are getting true 4K textures and full-on patches. They did show a quick slide of the games that are getting augmented from third parties, though, like Injustice 2, Resident Evil 7.
The only thing that matters is The Witcher 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate, but it's a good thing Witcher 3 has dynamic scaling built in around 1080p, and also to get the automatic benefits that we've been talking about. But yeah, in terms of the specs, we all knew that. We all talked about it. It was all announced, and the games look great. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, we knew that was coming, but what'd you guys think about that?
I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I mean, all my friends are playing that right now. So snoring.
Sorry. I called this one though. I knew this was happening, but I watched Mikey Barra play it a couple times, and it is literally ambient in game form.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, think of the money people are going to save. They don't have to buy Ambient anymore. No, I think it's for a particular audience.
It's big. Yeah, I hear it. I know why it's there, but for me personally, it does nothing but cool to those that are happy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge on Steam, and on PC. It's
Yeah,
a huge
most
game.
definitely.
I'm not interested in playing it, but it's like we always say, it's one of those options. It's there. That's another game to add to the library. Xbox has no games.
And that does release later this year exclusively on Xbox. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Did you find it weird
I'm
they
sure
didn't really have many like demos out on stage?
No.
No,
You
they
know what kind
had
of
too many games there, but a lot of them were smaller. They could have been moved out of the way for bigger games and stuff like that. You think?
They had a very clean and concise and always in pace moving conference. They had it set up where they would just show a game and then show a game and then show a game and then have somebody come out and talk really quick and show a game. So yeah,
it was kind of interesting to me that they didn't show any like the UI changes or anything.
Yeah.
Scorpio.
No.
Well, I mean, look, they're not. You saw how long the show ran, so a lot of that stuff is going to be shown off now. Like they said, some people were upset that they didn't show the Destruction and Crackdown. That's because they debuted the campaign. That was Sumo Digital did the campaign. The Destruction and stuff, they'll probably show that off like all week.
Yeah, there's a lot going on Xbox, the daily show that's every week. And like Bonnie Ross just tweeted out saying 343 is working on Halo. It's looking good. We have they have Halo Wars 2 stuff, but they'll show it on the daily. There's a lot of stuff we're going to see throughout the week, and I think that's maybe where they're get a little bit more elaborate. They only have so much time on stage, so they're going to start showing the Crackdown, the more.
Yeah, we probably get more clarity. Yeah,
they flew Craig Duncan all the way over from England, not just because his game was going to be on stage for 3 minutes. He's got to talk all week, so this is all going to be filmed. Like I said, you guys got to look at this is different. This is different. This isn't just a quick. And it was funny because I staggered a little bit. Like it's not just an A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This is not that kind of thing. This is the first time Microsoft came out of their skin. This is not the Microsoft of the past 3-4 years where you saw Halo, Gears, rah,
No,
rah,
they were on their
rah.
toes.
You know what I mean? This was a ton of, and like we used the word indie. When you think indie, I think iDarb. Now the indie games are looking right. The indie games we saw look like Dark Souls.
Oh, great by the way.
Hey, there were a few phenomenal looking games that I never heard of. Like Ashen. What the fuck is this?
I know a game that was announced a while ago. Actually, I did a video and actually said it was the one that was coming out.
Hey, Crab, can we actually confirm that Minecraft will be on stage every E3 for the next 20 years?
Oh, if you spend $2.5 billion on something,
on it, yeah.
Hey, I do have to say,
yeah,
I like the part was cool was that it looked gorgeous in 4K, and the Megaton was you're going to be able to play shared worlds with everybody but Sony because Sony doesn't allow that. So to me,
so it's going to be crossplay now.
Yeah.
Crossplay with the Wii.
Okay.
Crossplay with the Switch, the mobile,
with
PC.
Switch. I said the Wii.
Basically, everything that uses Xbox Live
But
service.
Sony.
Okay, I gotta say something because this is popping up in the comment section a lot. there's a lot of whiners who complain about a lot of these games being released on Windows 10 PC as well. And I think I need to preach to you guys for being douchebags because I want you to remember that Microsoft's other platform is Windows 10. And if they want to put their games on there and give their gamers and their customers the flexibility to play on PC and or Xbox, which a lot of people have a PC, but don't gripe about Microsoft releasing all these games alongside on PC, because if you look at the 40-some games that Sony put out this year, I think over half of them or more were exclusive to PS4 and PC and not on Xbox. So if you're going to be a Sony pony coming here and complain about a game being on Windows 10, you're a total hypocrite, and more options is better.
Any Sony, I gotta say this real quick.
Wait, I'll go after you. Go ahead.
All right, I gotta say this real quick. If you're a Sony guy, you should be out, eating a fucking crow on the ground somewhere. Right? Because last time I checked, and it's important that we rub this in your face. 4K 60 impossible. 4K impossible. Only indie games. Only low settings. You're all full of shit. So I think it's important that you guys say, hey, you guys called it. We also said on Xbox Nation that it's going to be kind of a lull in terms of brand new AAA games and experiences. They're just now reinvesting over $1 billion into that. You're not going to get any kind of crazy shit from them until next year or maybe the year after. But in the meantime, expect shit like Anthem and Metro Exodus visuals across the board on a lot of games. Best third-party shit anywhere. It's going to be phenomenal.
Hey, you know something, Diller? I think a lot of people forget Microsoft Messages. You know what I'm saying? And they sat here and said you can play your games anywhere. So if you buy the one game for the Xbox, it travels with you to your PC or wherever else you go to play that game. So to purchase one game and be able to play it anywhere at any given time that you want to, that's phenomenal.
That's a good thing.
I don't understand, like, when people sit here and say it's going to Windows, but Windows is an extension to the Xbox brand. If like I said, I got a Surface Pro tablet, and everything on there is Xbox. Mm-hmm. Everything on there is Xbox. It's centered around it, like, real heavy. Even Windows 10 is centered around gaming. It's centered around Xbox. So it's an extension to the platform that we already have. So I don't get because it's going to PC and PC gamers can play it, but they still playing it on Windows. And I think a lot of people forget that it's play anywhere. So
options are good, Showstopper. Options are good.
They are. So if you buy one game, you ain't gotta pay. You ain't gotta buy it twice. Just purchase it once, and it goes with you.
Well, they know they were bragging about it with the PlayStation Vita. You remember that?
yeah, I remember that trash.
So they were bragging about cross-buy, and now it's a bad thing. So let's kind of get back on track here to a game called Deep Rock, which the visuals were kind of minimal, but it did have some pretty good effects, and it looked like a mining game with spiders and creatures underground. What do you think about that?
Yeah, nice little indie level, I think.
I think it'll be a popular indie.
Yeah, probably. I mean, some of the games they show, Microsoft tends to showcase some of the better ones anyway. So I think that's a good bet that people will probably like that. I thought it looked pretty cool. 4K HDR too. So
it looked like it was probably some kind of co-op, and every studio's got to get a start somewhere. So I like to see that kind of stuff. Any other thoughts on it? Nobody gave a fuck. No fucks given.
I mean, do you really care about it?
I was in there with you when we were talking about it. I was like, it does kind of look cool when those things started bursting through that hole, right? And they started mowing them down. It reminded me of the fucking Matrix, man. Like, like the machines. It's called Deep Rock. It was the mining game.
When they were mining gold off the walls and shit.
I missed that whole thing, man.
Yeah, you was probably sleeping, motherfucker.
I had a fat bitch on my feet.
We got 900 and 20 people watching. Please hit that like button. You guys are awesome. Show your support. State of Decay 2.
State of Decay 2, all right.
State of Decay 2. What do you think about that? I know you were interested.
Flat Rock or something? I missed that one.
Deep Rock.
Deep Rock. I missed that one.
So I told you, there's a lot of games that kind of just went past a lot of people.
State of Decay 2.
They passed on purpose.
I wanted to get Z's opinion on State of Decay 2 if you were awake for that, bro.
I seen that. I was looking for it. That looks. It reminds me really of the series The Walking Dead. Listen, I know some people may not remember. State of Decay was a huge 360 title, What
It was a surprise. Yeah, it was a big old.
It was $20, but
Broke
one thing
records,
I
yeah.
didn't like about it, to me, it just screamed multiplayer, and it had none. And this here is giving 4 people co-op. Looks dope, you know. You get to loot everything in the town. You got to move on to the next town. Gives you that whole survival aspect, and it also too kind of puts me in the mind of Left 4 Dead when the fat guy was running up. You know what I mean? Like the creatures. I think it's dope, and I love the fact that it's not in first person. So.
Yeah, and like you said, the 4-player co-op looks phenomenal. Anybody play the first one in here besides myself?
Yeah, I played. I have it on
Yeah, I played
360 and the Xbox One.
Same here. It was a great game and highly underrated. This one looks better. You know, it's not Metro Exodus or Anthem or any of that, but it looks like it plays very much like the first one. And for the fans, that's a good thing.
A big upgrade graphically and stuff too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I also like the fact that you can start to turn, and then they have the option of curing you. I guess if they have the antidote, or they can just kill you. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, they didn't have that before, and that's interesting. It did show a guy getting ripped in half. That was,
Awesome.
Yeah, by the crack.
And just so you know, people listening, there's permadeath. So if you level a guy up to level whatever 10, and you got 8 hours in him, and he dies, he's done. You don't get him back. You got to switch survivors. So, you know, it's important. You got to think. And the weapon feel's been really good in the first one. It looks like the second one.
Seems a little too hardcore for me, Dylan. I like.
Oh, whatever. Come on. Now, we'll put you on a little book bag and carry you around.
Carry that around.
So, yeah, the demo of that, it's come out spring 2018, something that was kind of glossed over.
Yeah.
So,
Delay.
Yeah, a little bit of a delay, but this is the first. I don't know. They did say 17, but they didn't give a specific date. So hopefully it comes out pretty quick. The Darwin Project. Anybody remember what this was?
Nope.
Indie game.
Yep.
I feel like this is going to happen a few
There's
times.
a lot of
Yeah,
head
it's gonna
scratchers,
happen
man.
because, like I said, there was a lot of stuff they just rolled off, man. I mean, it was too many games.
The Darwin Project was the beginning of the decline a little bit for me. That was the one where they brought the announcer out on the fucking stage.
Oh, the yellow shirt.
Get the fuck off stage, you know. That's what I was thinking. So, not great. I didn't like it, and it just wasn't
I'm
my
just
own.
tired of people
When
trying to
that
chase
window
that. They're
when that
trying to
window
chase
was
that
screaming.
MOBA hype. I'm sick of it.
Screaming and shit, like some Overwatch.
The
shit.
guy, I think, in the yellow shirt.
Yellow
Yeah.
shirt, yeah.
Weirdo. You can keep that. I mean, it's probably is dope. It's probably it's probably.
He looked like a fucking balding eagle.
He was a stunt double in Breaking Bad.
But
But
Googling wrong pictures of eagles, man.
but nah, it's you know what? I guess it'll probably be a great game on Beam or Twitch. One of those.
Yeah,
type
it's an
of games.
esports thing, right?
Yeah.
Nobody gonna check it out when it comes out.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Fuck that game.
Yeah.
Move on.
Well, hey, you know, I'm gonna get into everyone's favorite topic, Minecraft. Microsoft spent more time on that this year, surprisingly
that's cool.
enough.
Wait a minute, how long did they spend? It seemed like they
Only a few minutes, and they did
4 minutes
actually
or something.
announce things that were worth announcing this time, including the first ever legitimate graphics pack for it. So the game actually does look decent after having that pack. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, we
Well,
saw a
I-
screenshot of that not too long ago, so
Yeah.
it does confirm that or whatever. So that's
And
pretty cool.
And the whole time I'm thinking, you know, they got to show this because there's millions of people playing the game, so they got to give it
It
a few
speaks
minutes.
to the children.
And they thankfully. But yeah,
Well,
what are you gonna say?
As we were saying, they're enabling cross-platform play with Nintendo Switch, any device on Xbox Live. You know, I don't know. I'm not
At
really
least-
into it.
Crap! I
myself.
want to hear what Crap has to say about that because they showed them.
Crap pre-ordered already. Just text me.
You had this connectivity
Hey,
between
guys, we're switching
PC,
to Xbox One X.
Nintendo Switch, and Xbox, and we were
I
talking about that off the air.
don't really play Minecraft,
Microsoft.
so
But
Not
I
really.
think you, I don't know who made the joke that.
I mean, yeah, like here's the thing: it connects to every other service except for Sony's, because Sony says no, they don't allow that. So, you know,
What
it's
is-
good.
For the
What is
players.
Sony afraid of? What is Sony afraid of with?
Well, if you can play with your friends, I mean, think about it. One of the big reasons a lot of PlayStation gained so much traction is because people's friends switched. And if you can just play with a friend that has a PlayStation, you can go play on your Xbox.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you have options there. It's not good. Marcelo says third-party marketing deals with Sony are going to kill Xbox One X. You know, keep in mind all those games are looking on Xbox this year. So
What I saw from
I don't see
No,
that.
the only way Sony can kill is with the IPs. That's about it.
Yeah, and it was pretty apparent. I mean, they showed a lot of games. I thought, oh, this is where Microsoft spent that marketing money that Sony set aside. Sony set aside the marketing money on games you already know are coming out, and we probably have a good idea what they're going to look like. And it was clear that Microsoft took that kind of cash and pushed it over toward some of these things that we've never even heard of.
Yeah.
And maybe a few of these games are going to be our favorite game. Maybe they won't, but there were some surprises, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's where the money went.
I like that block of Japanese games that they showed.
Oh yeah, I love it.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, they're trying to win over some Sony fans with those for sure.
You mean some that might think it's fire? Yo.
Oh my god! So just to wrap up Minecraft, yeah, 4K, whatever. I'm sure they could run that game in 8K if they wanted. It's ridiculous. Okay, on to the game Crap was telling me about. He called me up. He said he couldn't wait for Dragon Ball Fighter.
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z
this
Fighter.
is the game that's like that launched 1 million ships or something. I don't know. This game that's not my
Dragon
thing,
Ball
but
Fighter Z. That's what it's called.
Even Zaire was like,
yeah, it looks like a traditional 2D fighter, which is dope. So
You know what? As somebody who grew up watching that show, and I enjoyed the Budokai games, not the Tenkaichi games. At least with Budokai, this style, the side to side 2D, right? There was more skill. So I'm glad they're introducing this more Street Fighter X-esque Killer Instinct type, Injustice type fighting style back into this universe. It's pretty cool. I haven't bought one of those games in forever because of the lack of skill needed to play a lot of them. But who knows? If this one's good.
BBBX.
Yeah, at least it's colorful. You got to give them that. It looks pretty interesting in terms of its color palette. And another one called Black Desert MMO.
yeah, I called that one a couple weeks ago. I did a video about it. So
Oh, you called it like, hey, how you doing?
yeah, I was
How's
like,
the
oh, what's up, man? Why don't you come over to Xbox, man? Screw that PlayStation.
Who made that game? I missed who even developed that.
Well, it's been out on PC for a little while.
Yeah, it's a PC MMO.
It wasn't well received on PC. The visuals are great, but nobody really liked it.
Well, hey,
they're
options
gonna
are good,
like
I
it
guess.
now.
They're gonna like it now.
No, probably not. I mean, I don't see it really.
Yeah, I don't know. I could tell that they're really trying to get a lot of those Japanese-esque type games over. And you know, when we said that Phil went to Japan to wrangle up some support and stuff, you know, we weren't lying. So the Artful Escape, this one was interesting. The one where he's playing guitar and he was kind of running. That game had a really cool art style, but it also looked phenomenal at the same time. Thoughts?
Yeah.
You know what? I thought it was an interesting looking game, and I'm not really much of an indies type of guy, but yeah, I like that little code of that little block that they had there with that and some of the other ones. So, you know, again, they showed a really nice, diverse lineup. I don't really see how people can be upset.
Not just that, but I mean, it's hard because Dealer, what Dealer, and I don't blame you for going down this road, but it's the reason you're not getting a whole lot of jumping in is because they're all new to us, and these games are they're new. Not just they're new, we've never seen them. They're also new to just like a lot of Xbox fans. Like we have to kind of take it back. The first thing I said, I think it was like 20 minutes into the show, I'm like, I gotta watch this again because it's just there's so much new shit they threw at us, and it's not, of course, you know, like the people are looking at the Sony thing, they're like, God of War 4, Last of Us 2. And it's like, okay, yeah, but that's like when you throw Gears and Halo at us. You know, it's like I understand that you have. Coming. I understand that those are coming. We got that. You could have shown a Halo 6 trailer. We could have seen a Gears 5 trailer. You could have seen anything. But you know, when you actually look at the games that are the quote unquote unknowns next year for Sony, it's Detroit, Walking Simulator, Days Gone, A Poor Man's State of Decay. God, I'm kind of lost on a couple of the other ones. I mean, there's not much they really have coming out either, but because they're the first party games, you know, everyone's like, Microsoft needs to catch up. And it's like, well, I don't really understand where people are going to come up with this logic in the next 24 hours. Not to mention from today forward, every game that you buy multi-plat will look better. Every game that you currently own, I know they only mentioned 4 or 5, but you got to give them time. Sony did the same thing. There's going to be Witcher 3 and all those other games are going to get 4K. Gears 4 is going to be 4K. We all know Halo 5 is going to get it. So every game you have is going to start looking and playing better. And then let's not forget this. I could care less about this. But every single Xbox fan was like, can we please get OG Xbox back and pat? I mean, so for the other 80 million people that would not shut up about that since 2013, you got that. But you know what's funny? Everyone that's complaining, they're like, oh, yeah, I forgot I tweeted that out 6,000 times. You know, it's like, so.
Me personally, Mooch, when I saw it, I just
care less.
I will never use that.
I will never use that.
Bro, I'm still open my mouth
that.
watching that shit.
I will never use that.
You know, but there are people that will. And options are good. But
that's what I'm saying. Options.
You know what'll be cool is like if you want to do a retro review, I don't gotta hook up that shit to my old Xbox. I can just run it with HDMI and it's going to look and play better. So that'll be cool.
17 plugs in your power strip.
Exactly. So
You know what?
because I have to keep 2 cap cards, because that one doesn't have HDMI, obviously. So I use I use an HD one for that one, just with the cables.
Okay.
And so yeah, this will be, hey, a lot of people ask for it, but here the most important thing is you can play some games from all generations of Xbox, and they're saying
Truly is
past, present,
Xbox
future.
One now, right?
You know,
Every
what
single title.
what I liked about the backwards compat thing was the fact that you're not left behind. So if somebody just getting into just a 360 era and they never got a chance to play any of those games, they can go back and play those games that's up res.
What are they, refugee?
Oh, stop it! You know you got gamers that start. You got gamers that starts at every level. So stop that trash. But people didn't play. Some people didn't start gaming until the 360. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to look at it from their standpoint. That'd be new games for them. You know what I'm
And
saying?
it does extend the life of those servers as well. We've seen that with Black Ops and other games. That's a
The
fact.
whole thing I kept thinking when I saw them announce back and pat for original Xbox was the slogan for the gamers. Here was Microsoft. They're allowing you to play games from 17 years ago all the way up until now, and probably going forward to the next Xbox.
Yeah.
And that's for the gamers. And Sony's like, well, we do that, but if you want to pay to stream them. And I don't understand that. That's a good thing. And like Dio says, that's more options. Maybe you'll never play an original Xbox game, but it's there. And people have collections.
Yeah, and see that's
They do.
another thing too. So they don't have to have all these consoles lined up. You see what I'm saying? Just to go back and play those games if they choose to. They can just put it in one device and it's all there.
Okay, how about this would have been better in the Xbox Daily and not the center stage?
No, it's kind of a bigger.
No,
It's a bigger deal, man.
it was a dig at Sony too, because he announced that over 50% have played backwards compatibility, and it's an important thing. I think they needed to get that out there because Sony and everybody was saying nobody uses it, and then so that add on top of the fact that people do, now you can play all the games and stuff like that. So I think that's super important.
Yeah,
And it was very
once again, it's an option, and it's called Xbox One, and now it has the capability to play every generation of Xbox game. I think that's pretty unique. And speaking of,
Did they say more? Did they say they were going to add achievement support or better graphics?
I don't know, probably
They said better graphics. They said
better graphics.
graphical.
which is
stuff
just,
out
they said when you're playing on
upgrade.
the X1X, it gives the automatic benefits like 360. That's what they said. So
Yeah, I wouldn't expect any features that weren't in the original Xbox. They just
it'll just basically have better anti-aliasing.
But some of these
Dust it
Xbox
is.
games, some of these old Xbox games though, you can pick them up for like $1. So
Yeah.
I wonder what they're going to sell them for, probably for like 10 digitally or something.
Go buy them now.
why? They're like
No,
$1.
it's nothing. Is it going
That's-
to be native? Is it going to be native? You going to put the disc in there?
Yeah.
They're gonna update it. They're gonna upgrade it from the
Well, when you
updates.
put a current 360 game in, it doesn't play off the disc or even download the disc. It registers the disc and downloads the thing off the store. You need the internet to do it.
Yeah.
But the disc is just a key, right? Look at it, kind of like a license key. And really, it's just another option. And speaking of options, we've got Code Vein. I don't even remember what this was.
I don't think we
that,
give a fuck about what it was.
yeah, pretty much.
We just cracked 1,000 people watching.
Shout out to the
Nice.
comments.
Yeah, shout out. Hit that like button, fellas. Thanks. 1,000 people watching. You guys are awesome. Code Vein. Anybody know what this was?
That was the hack and slash.
That Japanese game.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yep, I
One we just
remember.
got flagged for. Yeah, that's that mother. Yeah. Yeah.
No, you got flagged for the Dragon Fighter Z.
No, it wasn't. It was. I just went to the timestamp just for that. That pinky winky. Yeah, I got Jay Williams to help me cut that out. I don't know how to do that shit. I got one arm. Cut that.
That's
that part out.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since someone gives a fuck about that, Sea of Thieves. How I want to know something from the people that have been in the alpha. How does that game stack up from that gameplay visually compared to what you've seen already in the alpha?
I would say at least 30% better.
Yeah.
And I want to say,
looks
if
great,
anybody,
yeah.
if anybody remembers the past podcast, I've never been really sold on it. And watching that, just the way the guy narrated it,
It was funny, wasn't it? It
it
had a
was
charm
very,
to it.
very well done. And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, okay, you got you.
You know what I can say? The game has a lot of charm.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
But your
Where is
experience is
back?
depending on who you play it with, right?
Yeah.
Your experience is definitely variable. Okay, so there's been underwater swimming. We kind of give some of these people insight that haven't played the alpha. There's been underwater swimming before. To my understanding, you didn't die if you stayed under there forever, correct?
No.
Okay. Could you swim into ships underwater in the alpha?
You know what? No.
Yeah. No, you if your ship sank, you could like swim. Well,
did the
I
ship
don't
produce
know.
the bubbles and stuff that was
Like if you're from the outside, I don't think so.
that was an amped up thing that they were showing on there, so that was definitely improved from what we've seen before. So
it looked phenomenal. The water effects are among the best I've ever seen. And they said that I think comes out in 2018 now, right?
yeah, Unreal Engine 4. So that's pretty good.
Is that what they're using with that game?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even know that. I was wondering what engine they were using. Tacoma. Anybody care from the people who made Gone Home?
Skip.
Moving on.
Oh my God, Gone Home. You can beat that game in literally 1 minute. There's an achievement to do that. August. It comes out in August. Super Lucky's Tale. This is like, what the fuck are you doing?
I like that though. It was like $20.
Oh, of course you liked it.
I'm saying.
We know you like the
I
casual.
got kids. You know what I mean? $20, I buy it. I ain't paying no $40 for that shit though.
That was a long ass trailer for that game. I mean, come
It
on.
wasn't that bad though. People like Ratchet and Clank and what's the other shit?
I'm just happy it was
yeah.
the Conquer reboot.
Nick
Yeah,
Cat
first I was-
wants to play as Fox instead of
Hey,
Mario.
yo,
Makes
but
no
that-
sense.
Phil said they got too much curses for me. You're gonna see that shit there.
That game originally was a VR game, though. I'm not sure if it's the Oculus or the Samsung Gear, but yeah, that game originally is a VR game. So this, I guess they've made like a remake of that game. But if you look
Phil
it up,
opened up the checkbook to get that one, guys. Megaton.
Millions
Yeah.
of dollars
Wow.
well spent.
Moving on. Go ahead, dealer. Get us to the next topic.
Another game where you play as a rodent that collects coins. Jesus Christ. Cuphead, September 29th.
They didn't show any gameplay, but I'm glad it's coming.
Because we've seen it 100 times. But
Yeah.
they gave us a date, which is important, September 29th. What do you guys think? You picking it up? Excited? I know people like it.
Definitely got to pick it up. I mean, we've all been watching it for so long. You're crazy not to say you're going to go get it.
How much will it be, though?
I bet that's $20.
Really?
I think
Okay.
it'll
I
be-
say
I think
30.
It'll be
I say
40.
Yeah, it'll probably be 40.
I don't think it'll be 40.
It'll be 40, and you know what? Add the cost of 3 or 4 controllers to that because you're going to slam those on the ground as hard as you can. So that game is not going to be easy. Okay, Crackdown, one of the more controversial games that showed up on the stage.
Great.
No cloud power destruction. No cloud power destruction, but Shannon Loftus did confirm that was the single player, and that was the first they'd shown the single player that was not the cloud power multiplayer.
I liked it though.
Now,
Yeah.
I want to talk about this because I know about Sumo Digital a little bit because I've been chasing after those guys for a couple years. Sumo Digital did Little Big Planet 3, which didn't fare too well, but they're also in charge of the online portion of Crackdown 3, and they're also supposed to get their butts working on the redo of Dead Island 2, which they're not. I don't know if they're working on it or what, but I'm hoping that what they're doing with Crackdown 3 is good. But that's what Sumo Digital is for you guys that don't know.
I like that they're using star power. Terry Crews, funny guy, good actor, tons of charisma. Danny McBride, you can see him on the Xbox Store tab right now. I like that. I like this direction. In terms of release date, launch day of Xbox One X, November 7th.
Thank goodness.
Wait, hold on. I want to give a comment about Crackdown. That commercial that they had, you know, that was in. They showed another one. I forgot what game. I think it might have been a sizzle reel. This is what Microsoft has been missing to me this whole generation. That commercial that they showed today during E3, they need to get them shits on TV right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And pound that home.
Definitely the one with Terry Crew.
Yes, sir. You not.
He said, y'all drop bombs. We dropping buildings. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Sumo Digital said, agents, we're not done yet. More campaign footage will be dropping throughout the week. Stay tuned.
There we go.
For Crackdown. So
it looked more Crackdown than any other Crackdown somehow, if that makes sense. I don't know. Crap, you're a big Crackdown fan. Let us know what you think.
Hey, you know what? I thought it looked damn good. I was happy that they showed us all some campaign stuff. People were worried that it wouldn't have one, so it was good that they actually showed that off. And they'll probably show a lot of the destruction and stuff during the next couple of days at E3. So people like freak out a little bit too much. Just the way their show was structured. I mean, they already ran over, so you can understand why they didn't like focus on that. I mean, we've already seen some of the destruction. Yeah, it would have been cool to see that, but
Hang on real quick before this gets too far out of focus here. Top Dog 2K17, this fraud says Forza is not 100% 60 FPS. That game is famous for being locked.
He said locked 60 right on stage. So, by the way,
every single Forza since Forza 1 has been locked 60.
They hear what they want to hear, man. You just got to.
There are 32
hard to imagine they hear anything with Sony's balls slapping on their forehead so hard. It's ridiculous.
Somebody messaged me. They go. Somebody messaged me and they go. So Microsoft's already lost this E3 because once Sony shows Spider-Man and God of War 3 or God of War 4, it's over. So I was like, so showing 2 games we saw last year makes it over? All Microsoft shown was stuff that we saw and knew about. I said, so in your head, the logic is Microsoft shows stuff we knew about, they lose. Sony shows stuff we knew about, they win. Like, how does that work?
I don't know.
I
just
bigger games, bro.
Cuphead is on pre-order for $20 on the Xbox store, guys.
Oh, shit.
Hey, and also want to say there are 32 Sony gamers that thumbs down this video because all those games are in 4K. In true 4K.
How was that? I thought that was impossible.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
a 4K.
Z, hey, Z, let me
Everything
ask you
is
a
in
question.
4K,
You looking
baby.
forward to God of War or Forza?
What?
I think
What?
Look, I'm stuttering.
No, I have to pause the video. You said, am I looking more forward to Forza or God of War?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like motorsport racing. There ain't no secret.
Okay.
That's like comparing
It's hard. It's hard.
pudding
It's
to
not
a
Mario Kart.
I
steak.
would choose God of War over Halo. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm a God of War dude, bro. I mean, that might sound
Yeah, you hear that?
blasphemous. Yeah, I
That
like
is
God of War.
blasphemous. God of War over Halo? Come on.
I like God
Yeah.
of War.
No,
I
no.
told
You like what you like, you know. You like what you like.
I'm not really into first-person shooters, man. No, I got one goddamn arm. The fuck? Fuck you mean?
It's kind of funny. The guys complaining in the comments, salty podcast. Motherfucker, you're salty. We're not complaining like bitches. We're talking about E3 and positive news here. And speaking of positive news, let's talk about Ashen because I was blown away by this. The game looks phenomenal. The art style is great. Co-op, it looks like co-op will be
You said
kind of the
Anthem?
mainstay of this game.
Ashen.
Oh, Ashen.
Which I was just caught off guard by. Looks
Yeah.
great. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah,
I liked it. It was an indie that I talked about, I think, even last year. That looks pretty damn good. So I'm happy that they're bringing it out 4K HDR. So
Was Ashen the game
Running
with the
theme.
people with no faces or no?
The Ashen was the game where the 2 people were carrying around lanterns and the kind of the ghost thing that had the black trail behind it. You remember?
Yeah,
I mean,
they had no faces, right? When they showed them close up, they only had like attributes of a
Yeah,
face, like maybe a
attributes of face,
mustache.
Right.
Type of,
Okay.
sock
Yeah, it reminded me of Absolver. I don't know if you guys seen that game. It kind of reminded me of that, but it looks pretty dope. The art style is definitely cool.
Yeah,
I think
don't
a lot of
remember.
Nintendo fans and the Sony guys that like the indies, they're gonna really like that game. So
I mean, it looked like more than just a traditional indie, really. I mean, it looked like it's on the caliber of like Unraveled and Inside in terms
Yeah.
of production value. It looked like, but obviously, what was it? It was third person, right?
I think so.
I'm blanking right now.
I think you
A lot of games.
Dealer, I think you already said Code Vein. I think you already went over that, and you're like, "Who cares?"
Yep.
I think
I
you
liked
glossed over it.
I
think that
didn't know
game-
what it was.
I think
I
that
was asking
game-
you. I don't
That
remember
was a
what it
hack and slash. When
That
the guy,
game looked amazing, to be honest with you. I thought that game was really good, and
Also,
same thing with
looks like
Ashen.
Japanese games.
No,
I like
that's a high
I'm playing
quality
Dark
game.
Souls. I'm playing Nihon. What do you want me to do? Get a tattoo? It says Japan or bust? Get out of here. Come on, man.
They asked me about shit.
Everywhere I go, Shenmue 3. Who are you?
People ask
Whoever
me
won played.
about shampoo.
Next gen had a meltdown right there. Like,
we were like, Z last year was like, who the fuck are you?
yeah, that shit was wild. Yeah.
Z, yeah, that was wild, man.
that Anthem game blew my mind though, man.
Nah,
I
Anthem won E3,
I just
bro.
need
Period.
your favor. I
We'll
need
get to
a
Yo,
favor.
Anthem. We will get to
Anthem
Anthem
is
because
sick.
that's some next level shit.
Yeah.
Life is Strange. Let's kind of dial it back down, you know. Life is Strange. What do you
You know
guys
what?
think about Life is Strange?
That's gonna attract a lot of female gamers. My girl was watching E3 with me, and she was like, "Oh, what's this game all about?" Da, 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 da. So it is something. I guess it will have its crowd, and diversity
Girl
can never
crowd.
be a bad thing. People always complain that Xbox we only have a certain type of game, so now we have some diversity in our lineup. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, and
a
what
lot
a
of those
team.
games be in the middle of the conference reminded me of a Sony conference. It just had that kind of vibe, especially with the musical Guitar Escape game. I forgot what it's called, but Yeah, that kind of stuff reminds me of a Sony conference. It was a little different, and as I've said in the past, that kind of stuff's not necessarily bad. It's just I expected more things. I expected maybe we would see Star Wars Battlefront, maybe some campaign footage, just a split second. No, they really locked all that stuff down. So we didn't get any of that, but we did get some other stuff when we do know those games are going to run better on Xbox this year. So Life is Strange, I didn't mind the music in it. It looked kind of interesting, right?
Well, it's kind of interesting that they just gave PlayStation Plus just got Life is Strange for free for June, and then Microsoft stood up at their conference and said timed exclusive for the sequel. Isn't that what they did?
No,
I think
it's not
so.
timed exclusive. No, it's just they just announced it.
I had never played the first one.
Well, hey, here's something you don't hear very often, but PlayStation Plus has, I think, the first 5 seasons free this month. Or first 5 episodes.
Because it's free.
So a lot
Plus.
that I heard last year was that Microsoft played it too safe with the same crap you already expected, and now they put out all this wide variety of games at their conference, and then I had some of these people that I talked to online, they're just pitching a fit like, what's all this garbage? I'm like, actually, it's in parallel with what you guys were looking at all year on your PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
It's the same type of thing. It's a variety of different indies and different Japanese-style games.
And who was the guy that was saying that there were plenty of people saying Xbox One X couldn't possibly be under $600? And when it did hit, some of these people were like, well, that's still too expensive. And it's like, go fuck yourself, Like, how you got to grow up a little bit when it comes to this stuff.
You know what? At the end of the day, it's great, and I think when people need to stop, as far as comparing it to what Sony's doing with the Pro, even from this move here, and I'm just saying, just knowing Microsoft overall, and I just to take you back, I used to buy a lot of goddamn tablets, and I was scratching my head like, damn, Microsoft when they get to jump on the iPad, they can't, no way they can put it out there $500, and Microsoft came up with it was like $750, and that's just Microsoft. But this product that we have, more powerful than the Pro, smaller than the goddamn Pro. You're recording in 4K, 60 HDR, all the bells and whistles. You know what I mean? And what I really don't understand, and listen, I'm not rooting for the big brother here, but I'm a consumer first. We paid $500 goddamn dollars in 2013.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this console is 5 times as powerful as that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're not just talking about resolution. We've seen better graphics today. What is the problem? The PS Pro didn't give me that, and I was, I was really excited for buying a console that was 4.2 goddamn teraflops. I want better graphics, and you guys know I've been saying from day one, resolution is going to give you better graphics, the textures, and the shaders and stuff. I'm happy. You know what I mean? Listen, I said going to E3, I don't really care about the exclusives. Wasn't really sold on the Sea of Thieves and stuff. I'm interested in the goddamn multiplayer, the battlefields, and
this little troll Cryptus, he says damage control. What sort of damage control? I mean, you spent $400 on a Pro, and that does nothing for you almost. Nothing.
It's a fraction of an upgrade. It ain't.
That is ridiculous. And if you remember when that thing was announced, I was praising it, saying this is going to be a badass 1080p console. They can ramp shit up to ultra on this thing, which they just don't fucking do. Dirt 4 gets anti-aliasing and has slightly higher resolution shadows, same exact resolution and features. That's unacceptable. So, we don't need a damage control. This shit's next level, as you just saw, especially if you watched it in 4K on Mixer. You've never seen such good-looking games. So $500, you could connect you could connect over $1,000 worth of Xbox One S's together, and that's what you're getting for $500 in an Xbox One X with a faster hard drive and more RAM. It's kind of ridiculous.
Xbox One X is the multi-plat king, bro. Period.
And don't forget, many of you motherfuckers are saying $700 minimal. So let's not go back in time.
If you don't like the Xbox One X, go build yourself a gaming PC of similar quality for about
I'll give you
$800.
one better. They said that we're not going to get 4K or whatever and good textures and all that shit. There's no way, because I have a GTX 5.
Oh, I know. They tried calling me out on Xbox Nation when I brought that up. I was the guy really pushing 4K textures and the extra RAM.
For those who are saying that, did y'all see the games with the extra stuff that you will see in a PC game that you will normally see in a console game? I'm talking wind, particles, scenery.
Like D said, when he's racing in the car and you look at the wire up on the dashboard moving with the weight of the car and the G-forces. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That
Crypto
ring seems
says,
awesome.
my
Like,
gaming PC beat the crap out of Xbox One X.
Nobody gives a shit about your gaming PC. Why are you here?
turn the mic off.
Shadow of War.
I got a
Goddamn mic off.
Shadow.
Why do they think we care
Shadow.
what your PC can do?
Not to mention, I
care
think
about that trash, man. Go on
most
your
people
little
on the
cave
panel have gaming
and be
PCs
happy
anyway.
with that trash. You know what I'm saying? Goodness.
I thought Shadow of War looked good. We've already seen a lot of that previously, though. I mean, you know, I thought it looked nice on.
It made me laugh though. That guy that he dominated and then made that noise. I don't know why. I was watching. I'm like, yeah, this looks good. This looks more colorful. Like you're outside of Mordor, so you got more color going on, and the game has more variety. Shadow of Mordor is a great game. If you haven't played it, go buy it right now. And
Shadow of Mordor.
yeah, it's great. But it just, I was watching the thing like, yeah, that's cool. And then this character made me laugh. Those two games are going to have a lot of personality. And what are they going to look like on Xbox One X?
They showed it today.
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
As we saw, that was everything was running on Xbox One X on that stage. And something, too, that we have to touch on because it's some of the best visuals I've ever seen in my life as well. Ori. The Ori sequel.
Wow.
Man,
good.
That was insane.
I thought that looked amazing. Yeah, they didn't even give a release year for that, but it is cool that they teased it.
And that
what
frog,
was that one called?
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yeah, Will of the Wisps.
I could have swore I wrote that down somewhere.
Yeah.
But if you looked at that frog, I don't know what it was towards the end. I was looking at the details and the different layers of the textures and like the feathers. It's like, holy shit,
That
man.
big spider type creature with the lights on its whatever that thing is, right? I mean, it just
It was the green thing, right?
Yeah.
it just it was next level and it looked phenomenal and it's just it's crazy because this reminds me, and as I've said, this is the real next generation with this console for obvious reasons, and this was indicative of the feeling that I got the first time I saw like games at the PS4 reveal or the Xbox One reveal. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I've been gaming on PC for quite a while, so these are some of the best looking games I've ever seen in my life running on this thing.
It was quite apparent to me today that the 9 gigabytes of RAM that they've allocated for gaming is making a huge difference because that's the only reason why we're seeing those type of textures and those details.
Exactly.
And I was looking at some of these games. I was looking like I was nitpicking, and I was looking at the draw distance. I didn't see any pop in. I didn't see any filtering of assets in. It was just phenomenal.
I was looking for that stuff too, bro. I was looking for it. So if I couldn't really see it looking for it, you're not going to notice it at all, even if it's there.
No.
It's nuts, man. So once again, I just can't get over how good Metro Exodus looked. That was a phenomenal example. You want to know what 4K textures does? Go look at the Mixer video of that in 4K and have your mind blown because that looked phenomenal. But yeah, Shadow of War looks great. We've seen a lot of it. I wish they would have saved the gameplay for E3. But if you kind of want to get more hype for the game, go watch the cinematic story trailer. They did release that recently. It looks really good. Any other thoughts on Shadow of War before we move on?
Yeah, remember that Monolith Studios is down the road.
Talk a lot.
The trolls do talk a lot.
He made me laugh a little bit. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I kind of think, I don't know, I think maybe they should be a little less charismatic, but I know why they did it, but it just doesn't fit with what I know of the movies and books as much.
Well,
I know why they did it.
I think it's a couple.
I killed you before, mate.
It's a couple characters.
Yeah, they did that stuff in the first one, but this one they've extended those scenes and the dialogue dramatically.
Remember how great Ratbag was in the first one? He was really a good character.
Yeah.
So
yes,
I just want to say that for those who don't really know much about Monolith Studios, they're down the road in Redmond, where Microsoft is. And Phil Spencer said in one of his interviews that they routinely head down the road and walk right in and check on progress. And they've got full support back and forth, Microsoft and Monolith Studios. So it will be a fantastic looking game and a better one on Xbox One X. This message has been brought to you by Colt Eastwood.
Every game is going to run better on Xbox One X. I was watching with our favorite our favorite YouTuber Hip Hop Gamer yesterday, and they were talking about Madden 18, and they said it's going to look the best on Xbox Scorpio.
Hang on, I got to get this out here because Griffin Gaming shout out. He says if you watch the event on Mixer, you got Rare Replay for free. So I haven't looked into that, but according to Griffin, that's what he said. That's pretty awesome, man.
They're sending out packs of something. Yeah, I
cool.
don't know how
Something we don't want. Anyway.
Oh,
Hey,
come on,
Rare
man. Stop
Replays
shit.
actually
It's been free. Come
Rare
on, you
Replays
gotta
pretty
find
good.
positive somewhere.
Pretty good.
Shit. I mean, but anyway, some people, some people don't have it. It's free. Ain't no negative to that. Anthem. We can talk about Anthem now. Finally,
Woo!
BioWare's new RPG. The guys buying Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. Their new game. What do you guys think?
It's a multi-plat.
Yep.
Hey, do you think that do you think that C Team from Andromeda is packing up their shit now?
They're like, fuck, we should have tried.
Packing up. They were
Yeah.
supposed to pack up, actually.
I thought it was a great game. It showed well, it looked great. I mean, it really showcased what the Xbox One X is all about. So I'm super excited for it. Nice to see them do that. I wish they would have done Andromeda now after looking at that though. But what are you gonna do? We get a new IP that looks fantastic. I'm really excited.
I think it'll come out the
That was
fall
slated
of
for
2018.
2018, yeah. And it was also confirmed, all that footage. When you watch that trailer later,
4K.
and even if you're not watching it in 4K, just remember
Gameplay.
that game was in 4K. And it was running in real time on Xbox One X. They said that live on stage. So that is what you're getting. Those particles, all that stuff came from the CPU. I mean, this box, it's looking well-rounded from what I'm seeing from these explosions, man. No dips.
I loved how he was like flying through there and he flowed onto the ground. And then when he went into the water and he went into the depth, and the depth of field, and also too the water, like when you're underneath water, if you really dive, when you're underneath water, it's distorted. It doesn't look straight like that. You know, things look a little bit distorted, especially objects above you. And they captured that well. I thought it was just well done.
Somebody said downgrade inbound. As a matter of fact, I would say the opposite. They've still got 4 months. They've already got it running that way.
That's
That was running on an Xbox One X console, not a dev kit. They confirmed it as a console. And if anything, in 4 months, they're going to optimize it and make it look better. So think about it that way.
Yeah.
And you know what's scary with the Scorpio is that everything we get in this early build. It's the first time they really got their hands on it for however long they had it. So games will get better and better and better as time goes on.
Yep.
You know, so
They always do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they always do. They always do look and run better. And they didn't mention Xbox One S hardly at all, with the exception of a price drop, which that's what I expected. It is now $249.99 full time. What does that make it the cheapest 4K Blu-ray
The
player?
500 gig is $199 limited.
Yeah, I think that's a temporary deal, right?
Yeah, that's temporary.
Well,
And we've
don't be
got to
surprised.
touch on. Go ahead, Cole.
No, I was going to say, don't be surprised if that 199 sticks down the road. But go ahead.
Yeah, they did do that. I think
Several
a few years ago,
times.
actually.
Did on the
Yeah.
Xbox One and the S, but go ahead.
I noticed not one person talking about this, but of course it was an announcement, and some people like this kind of shit. Did we talk about that backwards compatibility with the original?
Yeah, we
Xbox?
talked about
Yeah,
it.
we did.
talk-
Yeah.
Okay, it's at
We
the
didn't-
bottom
we
of
didn't
my
care.
list. So
Yeah.
That's when
yeah,
it came
see,
in.
that's how much I care. I already forgot that we talked about it. So Xbox One X, it's going to be $499. We can kind of start getting into this here. $499. Any final thoughts on the console, the size, any of this stuff?
Good size, good price for for what it is. Phil was right all along. He didn't try to mislead anybody. We all hoped it was cheaper than $399, but $499 was the price. He said it was not for everyone. It was for the hardcore that really know what they're doing, and the S would be the big seller. So, promise made, promise kept.
Worth every penny, in my opinion. I've tried to build
Premium price.
PCs. I tried to build PCs with that kind of GPU power, and I can't do it for under 700. And even then, of course, that's using new parts. But if you're getting into that stuff, you're probably not going to build your own, and you're probably not going to buy used parts. But hey, is it possible? Who knows? You might not even buy a case and just assemble it and lay it on the floor, like I made the joke in Colt's video. People will do that kind of shit. So
Hey, let me throw
it's
this.
definitely a damn good deal. $499, I would say.
A friend of ours, it's Buddha time on Xbox, sent us info about those who watched the E3 conference on Mixer.
Yeah.
It says delivered in waves starting from 24 hours after the end of the briefing will include Rare Replay full game download, Halo Wars 2 Consano Leader Pack with a bonus of 3 Blitz packs, Minecraft Redstone Specialist Skin Pack, Hawkins Starter Pack, no Time to Explain full game download, and the Final Station full game download.
So where will that stuff appear? In the ready
I don't
to
know.
install? Or?
It will probably show up as a notification on your Xbox app on your phone or on.
What about Showstopper? Showstopper, when we're watching the live stream, he got a code that popped up on the front of his stream.
Yeah,
Maybe they were.
I gotta rewind it back and go get the code. I didn't see this shit.
yeah,
That's weird.
It was a code that when Assassin's Creed, I think that was Assassin's Creed. Yeah, Assassin's Creed. When that was playing, it came right across the thing. It was like a code.
Like a ticker?
Huh?
It came across like a ticker across the bottom?
No, it wasn't at the bottom. It went across, like, you know how you have like a water print? It was like a water print right across my whole screen.
Damn.
Of a code.
No idea.
Watermark.
I didn't ever see any of that, man. I had a full screen in 4K because
I didn't see it either.
I don't
Maybe
think
it was a
4K
prompt.
unless you went.
Yeah, I didn't see it on mine.
4Q something. I just couldn't get it. I went to go get a pen and then
You can rewind it back.
It's Buddha says that these games will show up and you're ready to install. So I
Oh,
don't.
that's awesome. Well,
Don't
shout
look,
out to Buddha Time for the heads up and tuning in, and all the support and all the people, the 500 something
Buddha
people that hit the
Time.
like, and the 1,000 that showed up. You guys are fucking
Shout out to
awesome.
Buddha Time. I had a decent conversation when we came out the closet. Shout out to my man Buddha Time. A lot of heart, a lot of fortitude.
Yeah. I heard
I
it.
gotta go start up the BGST one, guys.
Thanks, Grab.
Okay.
God.
All right. Send me
Hey,
an invite.
thanks, Grab. I want to say.
All right,
real quick,
well,
I did
go
a
ahead,
bunch of
Will.
videos.
Do you want me to close out with anything?
Yeah.
Say, give us the
Right,
Megaton.
no.
X gonna give it to you. We gonna give it to you.
No,
Give us
that. Close out with this. Next thing you right, I would never bet against black. I want to hear it right now from
Dude, I
everybody.
had a lot of stuff right in there, man.
I ain't talking about the shit I told you. Let's say it right now. I'm not worthy. No.
you're on your own with that.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. Well, so we'll be over there, and then I'll have a couple other people as well. So hopefully some of you guys can join us as well. So
Come on over. Get on with it.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on
and
down.
once again, we'll close it out. But you
really
know,
good show, though. I liked it. I thought it was a phenomenal show.
I like it too.
yeah, I thought it was good. It was solid. It was a little
It's
different.
getting a lot of hate. I don't know why, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal. But once again, you know, thanks for everybody that stopped by on the panel. Thanks for the 1,000+ you that showed up. Hit that like button. Show your support. If you want your comments answered or replied to, post them to the video when it renders and uploads to the channel. Anything want to say? Anything before we go? Any thoughts you may or may not?
Show was better than last year. C+. I'm excited for the Xbox
C
One
plus.
X.
This guy.
Yeah,
Somebody
bro.
cut this motherfucking mic off.
C plus, bro.
I can't take
Cut
this
his mic off.
C+. Bro. C+. Where's the IP, bro? There is none. All right, man. Nice show.
Well, you know, we called it on Xbox Nation months ago. You know, like I said, there's going to be a little bit of a lull. But
Second year with no
Listen.
big IP.
Hey, bro,
Second
listen.
year.
Hold
this ain't the second year with no big IP.
No,
What?
all day.
What
You
up?
played that Tinky Winky shit on the PS4. To
What
me,
are you talking
listen.
about?
I'm just saying that shit should be praising. Sony got all these goddamn games. All
Praising
these games
what?
coming out. Bro, listen,
What are you
bro.
talking about?
Sony got all these games.
Have you
Listen.
compared the two?
Listen, Microsoft showed us 22 exclusive. I don't like all them shits, but they're second with
Exactly.
somebody.
You should like them.
No,
That's
I
the
like
point.
them. Listen, I like the multiplayer. I put the C in fucking casual. I don't give a fuck.
That's the same thing I said. I'm excited for a multi-plat console, bro.
Shit.
It's a
It
multi-
is what it is.
We want to
You
continue.
know, I think we
somewhere
can all
else,
agree
can,
that
bro.
when games looked at next level, who gives a shit? You're gonna be playing most all your games on this thing, regardless.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
if you thought the PS4 was an exclusive box before, it damn sure is now.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
just the
You're,
bottom
you're
line.
going to be playing the games you want to play. So if there's
Yeah.
if there's 8 games you didn't want to play, you're not going to buy them. So oh well, the games are coming, and this is next year is when more IPs are going to come, and we've got plenty of games this year anyway.
Yep.
We're all going to be playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 and a bunch of little.
There are too many damn games.
Yes.
Assassin's Creed, Star Wars. I mean, Jesus. I
Yeah,
mean,
all multi-plats. I can't wait, bro.
yeah, they're gonna look phenomenal. So,
You know, this is something that just a thought that just popped in my head about with all these games and reason why the IPs that y'all say the big megatons or whatever y'all talking about, it's a whole bunch of them out this multiplets. So to launch a new one, it'd have been kind of hard dealing with everything else that's out right now.
yeah.
Microsoft like to
We'll
launch
see.
theirs. Microsoft like to launch theirs in like November and around Christmas for whatever reason.
Hey,
I hope
something
they
just
learn
popped
from
up
that.
on my screen and said, "Thanks for watching Mixer. I got a warthog for free or some shit. I don't know."
That's
Oh, you just saw
cool.
that now?
Go
Where?
check your
Yeah.
driveway.
Yeah. It just,
Hey, one thing
Where was that,
came from the
email?
State of Decay 2 thing, 2018. I bet you it's early next year, which is good. It won't get
yeah, February.
you know
March,
crushed by these massive budget
Yeah.
games, even though
Oh,
it's
yeah,
such a
it
good
would.
game. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's most
But
definitely.
yeah, once again, guys, we got to get out of here. I might be over on Craft's channel. He asked me to come on, but you know, thanks for rocking out with us. Hit that like button, and we'll see you guys around. Thanks.
There, guys.
Peace.